Hi creatives, I am the man. You're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial. On today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to sew this stylish ruched dress with Basque waistline. If this sounds like what you're interested in, then you have to stick around till the end. At the end of this video, you will learn how to join together professionally a basic bodice just like this one with Basque waistline, and of course how to join a ruched skirt to it in a very smart and professional way. Let's get right into this video. So this is just a recap of what we did in the last tutorial. So if you've not seen the pattern drafting of this beautiful dress, just go ahead and click the link in the description box. It will take you to the exact video where we drafted the pattern of this beautiful dress. So this is just a recap where we did the slash and spread for the skirt, drafted the basic bodice and all of that. This is just a reminder for those that have seen it, but if you've not, just go ahead and click the link in the description because you definitely need this before you will come and join us in this very one, because this is all about putting together this lovely dress. So let's get right into this beautiful dress joining. So here was me just cutting out the ruched part of the skirt. So all this we did in the last tutorial, right? I added my zipper allowance. That is what I'm adding right here. That is about 1.5 inches, and yes, I had to equalize the hemline of that skirt. I put the notches, and all of this was treated in the last tutorial. So after doing this, the next thing to do is to go ahead and cut the lining of this beautiful upper bodice. Okay, so this is the front lining, and you can see what I applied on the neckline. That is the interfacing, and then this is the neckline of the back. I applied interfacing. What I used is paper gum. That is what I used. Okay, paper gum. That is what I used for this neckline, not like gum stay. This one is paper gum. That is what it is called in the tailoring shop. So I'll go ahead and stitch the neckline for the back, and of course for the front I will notch and top stitch. Okay, when I stitch I will notch, then I will top stitch. So that is what I had to do for the front and the back. But before I turn the neckline for the front, I have to go ahead and stitch the that line. Please, if you've not seen the pattern drafting tutorial of this, go ahead and look at it, because there I also illustrated how you can mark your darts. I used my awl to mark the darts, and that is the awl mark that I followed to stitch these darts by the side, and of course for the waistline that. So I had to go ahead and stitch the neckline, notch and top stitch, and of course iron it down, press it really nicely. So that is what gave us this. So this is the back and here is the front. So you have to place your front pattern like this and go ahead and place the back on it, right sides facing each other. So you have to place the shoulder like this and stitch lining to lining and fabric to fabric. Do that and also stitch the sides, lining to lining and fabric to fabric, and this is what we got at the end of the day. After that, you can see that I stitched the lining and the fabric separately. So after doing that, I will go ahead and take care of the zipper. So this is what we have. So you can see how the bust area is already sitting right, even that it is not padded. This is just a regular dart that is used, the 2 dart series. So I'll go ahead and stitch up the zipper area just 2 inches up, or 2.5 at most, upwards, and this is what I have. I had to fix the zipper. You can see how I fixed the zipper. I fixed it on the fabric first, and this is what I'm going to do. Open up your zipper and put this side of the zipper inside and flip over the lining on it like this. So because you want everything to come out neat, you're going to stitch this down like this. You do the same for the opposite side, and this is what we have after stitching it down. Okay, you just have to turn it inside out, and you can see how lovely the zipper is looking. Everything is looking neat. So I just had to turn it to the right side so that you see how lovely it is looking. So ensure that your zipper is equal. Ensure that everything is neat. So after that, you're just going to go ahead and stitch up the, round this basque, right? Just stitch round it, join it together that is what you do before you attach the skirt part to it. So now this is the skirt part, and I'll go ahead and remove all of these papers that I used to, that is used for the slashing and spreading. So what you do is to just run your gather stitch along all of those lines. Okay, run your gather stitch for all of these parts and stitch it down. So that is what we're going to do. So you can see what I have here. I'll go ahead and notch this place, and yeah, that is why I always put notches, so that you know exactly where the pattern is going to land at every point in time. So watch the pattern drafting tutorial and you'll see all of the guide that I notched and everything I did to ensure that the stitching process is easy. So I'm going to run gather stitch on this part. I'll show you how to run a gather stitch right now. You use your needle and thread, or you can use your machine, okay, to run the gather stitch. But what I illustrated here is how to use your needle and thread. You just go ahead and put running stitch, just as you can see me do. Okay, you're going to run this stitch till you get to the waist area, then you run another one down to the basque, you run another one, just run your gather stitch all through. So this is what I have after running the gather and stitching up the gather on all of the sides. You can as well like work your gather as you stitch if you're a professional in doing that, but if you're not, please run your gather stitch and ensure you use it while joining this together. So this is me showing you exactly how you can do that. Now this is the side that is remaining. I had to put the gather stitch right here. You can see the waist doesn't really have much gather. You can notice that from the pattern drafting. Do well to watch that. I'll put the link in the description. So after all of that, what I did was to go ahead and arrange the gather really nicely till it matches perfectly with where I want it to join. So I had to tighten it up here so that it doesn't move. Yes. So after tightening it up, I cut it, and you can see that the gather is exactly the size of where I want to attach it. So what you do is to open up your fabric. I just had to turn, over to the front part to admire my work a little bit at this stage before I continued. So this is how you're going to place it, and of course stitch it down. Okay, so stitch it down, and of course serge it, and at the end of the day, this is what I got. Ensure to follow the pattern making, the sewing process I took in this video. It is so important for you to get a perfect fit like this. It's not just about cutting, it's also about the mode of stitching it together. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and thanks for always stopping by to watch my videos. I love you all, and of course I'll see you in my next one. Bye.